Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for watching and subscribing to my channel. Today I want to talk about magazines. As you guys know, I think I did this review a while ago. I've been using MBX magazines, one MBX magazine, and this has served as my primary magazine since May, June last year, so for almost a year. I've been using this as my primary for every single stage, every single match I've shot. Ever since I got it. I got this last year. As you can see, it's pretty dinged up. Yes, all kinds of scratches and whatnots. You know, typical wear and tear. And then you see all the wear and tear in the base pad as well. You know, typical stuff. I mean, you're shooting open, you don't really drop your magazines that much because you hardly reload, but when you do, you get a little bit banged up here and there, but it still has been holding up. And I'm glad to say, I'm not sponsored by MBX. I bought this using my own money, no discount, full price. I paid for this, and I'm been very happy with this. It has not jammed out on me. It has not caused any malfunctions. I believe the few malfunctions I had were high primers. I always get high primers. Even I get, my hundo case gauge, and I still let some of those go by. But he has served me well. I've shot this, I shot maybe 2 to 3 matches a month. So for a year, that's quite a lot of matches. I'm sure some of you shoot more than I do. But so yeah, let's talk about MBX magazine. So I've been using this. This is a 170mm magazine, and the typical. Traditionally in the open division, there are two magazines, right? A big stick and a short stick. This is not an MBX. This is a STI magazine for my 38 Super. I don't use this at all. I've been using 170 big sticks exclusively. All my magazines every single one on my belt are big sticks. And the reason why I did that is because I just want to get used to or comfortable with reloading from a big stick, regardless of what's the round count for that stage and so forth. I just wanted to practice one so I don't have to bother about big stick or small, switching from big to small and having to deal with the inconsistency. So it's worked out pretty well for me. But most recently, a few months ago maybe, MBX came out with their 155mm magazine. So the reason these two magazines exist is open division has a maximum magazine limit of 170mm, 171. So why do you need a small magazine when you can hold 29 rounds? Why you want one that can hold only 22, 23 rounds? Because with a small magazine, it is easier for you to reload the gun much quicker than a big stick. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to get over by just exclusively using this big stick and practice as often as I can with it. I'm trying to get my reload speed as fast as I can reload with a small stick. Still not there yet. Small magazines reload much faster than you would with a big stick, especially when it's all fully loaded, right? This magazine is really heavy when you have 29 rounds in it. And as you see a lot of GMs, high-level shooters, they reload this small stick so quickly, especially in the classifiers. It earns them some time and get pretty high scores. So MBX came out with their mid-size stick, the 155mm. You can see that 155mm magazine. I believe this magazine holds 25 rounds plus one, so 26 not reloadable, 25 reloadable. So it's midway, and I'll bring it to the table so you guys can see the size difference. And the reason why they came out with this, as you can see, the size, the bottom is level, so the top is, so they call it the medium stick, right? And the reason for doing this is they wanted to come out with a magazine that has more capacity than 140, at the same time be as quick to reload your gun with. So I got this magazine from Tiger Nguyen who works for MBX Magazine. Sent me this to do a review. So I'm going to do a review on this and find out if it is indeed as fast to reload as a 140mm stick. Because it's interesting though. I mean, if it's as fast as 140, if you can reload the gun as fast or even faster than a 140mm, then essentially the small stick is dead, right? You don't need this anymore. There's some shooters I know who just use nothing but small sticks. Someone said that some of the top level shooters like Max do just use small sticks as well. Depending if the stage requires or can be completed with a big stick. You know, sometimes there's a 32 round stage. You know, the first few positions are close by, and then you have this dwell time between these first few positions and maybe 26 rounds to finish the stage. What they do is they reload into a big stick. So they use a small stick to start with, shoot, and then they reload into a big stick. I don't have that problem because I just use all big sticks. But if it's a 155, then it's pretty interesting, right? And then all you have to do is just practice, use 155. You don't need a 140 anymore. And that's the benefit of using the medium stick. So I want to find out if it's as fast as 140. I don't use 140, so I'm not an authority on using 140, but I'm going to try and do maybe a slow-mo video or some dry fire practice, to do some reloading practice to see which is faster from a person that's untrained like I am. And then I can compare the 155 to the 170s and see how well I do as well. Okay, because I guess that's the only benefit, right? The reloading between 155 and a 140 millimeter magazine. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, so first things first, let's take a look at the tabletop. Let's take a look at all three magazines. Although this is not an MBX magazine, so if there are certain size differences, please excuse me. But I don't have a 140 MBX, so but I just wanted to show you the size difference between the three magazines. Get it down side by side. The good thing, again, as I mentioned in the original review video, the good thing about MBX is all the base pads are exactly the same, regardless of what size tube you're using, what caliber tube you're using. Even the limited 140 magazines that they produce use the same base pad. So then you can interchange those base pads regardless of which mag tube you're using. Well, the only difference is obviously the spring and the follower. I did, however, say that the followers were 3D printed. I had some reservation about the quality of the 3D printing, but it has lasted this long. It has worked well for me, so no complaints so far. They look to be pretty solid, although sketchy, but they're solid. They haven't caused any problems at all, so which is great. So they have the same follower, the same 3D printer followers, so they would work well. I'm not sure how many coils spring is in this. I believe it's the same one as a 140. I might be wrong, but I guess they are the same. 11 coil versus 13 coils. And so that's the size difference. Let's take a look at the raw weight. Again, not an MBX magazine, but I just want to take a look at the weight. Let's bring the camera closer down here. 4.3 ounces, 155 magazine, 4.6 ounces empty, and the 170 millimeter magazine 5. So the difference is just 0.4 ounces, not a lot. Obviously, the 170 will fit in the gauge well. It fits perfectly. There's no light bars in between, so it fits perfectly here if you can see that. Obviously you can test the 155. You don't need to test the 155 because you only use this in the open division, so that's fine. Now I want to test the weight of the 155 magazine fully loaded. So although MBX said that you can load 30 rounds, I can get 30 rounds in here, but it can't fit in the gun, so that's useless. So I'll use 29 rounds because that's effective. You can start with a 29 round magazine. You could probably reload with this. Don't recommend it because if you're reloading this on the fly, if you don't seat it properly, it might fall out. So if you're thinking of reloading into a big stick, make sure you use 28 rounds. So that's 29 rounds in here. Let's look at the weight, 1.1. So 1 pound, 1 ounce. Okay, so that's 17 ounces, right, on a 170 millimeter. That's interesting. That's 1 ounce per 10 millimeters. Haha. Let's take a look at the weight of the 155, and I'm guessing it would be 15.5. This mag has seen some use. Tiger sent me this. He's been using this as his personal mag. So the spring is maybe use a little bit, and I can fit 27 rounds in this. I don't think this is reloadable at all. Look at that. It doesn't even move. So it might fit into the gun. Let's try that. Oh no, that's not. That's gonna cause some problems here and crack your grip. So that's not gonna work. 27 rounds is the absolute maximum, but definitely you can't even start with this. So let's drop by one. So now it's 26 rounds. I believe you can definitely start with 26 rounds. There we go, easy. Okay, so 26 rounds would be a good start. Reloadable to 26, yes. Obviously not recommended because you might not seat properly and you don't have a positive lock. But 26, definitely, you can try, you can go for it. 25 plus 1 would be the more highly recommended one. So 26 rounds, let's take a look at the weight. 15.5. I was right. So 15.4, 15.5 ounces for a 155 millimeter magazine. So you can see, you can safely say that the magazine weighs 10 ounces, sorry, 1 ounce for every 10 millimeter. Interesting. So there we go, 15.5 ounces. Let's take a look at how quickly you can reload with this magazine. Let's test the reloading speed, if you like, or how easy to reload. I've not practiced with this before, so I have no idea how it feels like. I'm going to start from a probably low ready position and then start my reload. I won't have a mag here because then I don't have to deal with the mag dropping on the ground all the time. I just want to see how quickly I'm going to reload this magazine. Don't have to worry about how long it would take for the magazine to drop and that affecting the reloading speed. So I'm just going to go from here into a reload position and then go like that. Obviously I don't have a timer on with me. Well, I have a timer, but I will not be able to pick up the shot because I'm not going to shoot in my garage. So I will probably try and edit this video and put a running clock so you guys can see how quickly. So I set the timer here. There's a power timer on my timer as well for 1 second. That's what I dry fire with. So, okay. So let's see. Let's take a look. Let's try a few rounds of practice. Not bad. I guess even 26 rounds is not reloadable, so I'm just going to pick one up. 25. Okay. Pretty fast, huh? I like it. I'm not used to reloading small sticks, so not bad. I would say marginally faster, I guess, than my 170s, but I'm used to reloading 170, so hard to tell. Although I'm finding it easy to reload, maybe it's just the magazine's compatibility with my mag catch. Finding that I have to really ram it in, make it see that's 25 rounds, so not maximum capacity. It's fast, it's easy to reload. That was a lousy reload. Try 170. So not a good reload. So it's pretty fast. Let's compare that to a 140. 140. Way faster. Terrible. So slightly faster with 140. What's interesting is the 140 mags are easier to grab. It feels like a normal magazine. You can index with your finger on the point of the bullet. As I was reloading it, I could feel it just go in very positively, and the magazine slides in the gun very easily. I could actually feel the whole entire travel of the magazine in. With the 170 is different, although I think you guys know I practice with it more. So for me, I don't feel the tip of the magazine, because when I draw, it looks like this, almost like this when I hold the magazine. As you can see, it's really wobbly. So if you don't get the entry correct, so that's where the difficulty comes, right? When you draw the magazine and you bring up to the gun, you can index you look at your mag well, right? You see where you're supposed to go, where the magazine is supposed to go. And as you drive your magazine up, you need to very quickly open your hands, because you want to, and it's wobbly. So there is some risk with pushing the magazine all the way up like this. You're using only, instead of guiding the magazine in, you're now actually pushing with your palms, and you want to make sure that you drive the magazine into the well, and then you seal it like this. So the whole entire travel for a 170 is grabbing the back and then aiming and then shoving it, and hopefully it goes straight like this. Whereas with a 140, when you draw, you actually point your magazine all the way to the mag well, so it's a lot more positive that way. With a 155, maybe to a person who practices with 140, will probably be able to get close to the tip like that, and you could literally drive the magazine all the way closer and then move to a palm technique where you just shove the magazine in, so reducing the amount of errors you would get. For me, I don't really see a reason for 155 personally. Maybe I could try one day just trying all 155 instead of carrying all 170, just to see how it would help with stage strategies, breaking on the stage, and ammo management that way. That would be my only benefit, or only thing that I would try, because I'm already using 170s and are very proficient with the 170s. I practice a lot of reloading with the 170s, although if I get mistakes from time to time, I'm slightly slower, but I'm sure eventually I get to the point where I can reload as fast as anybody can with the 140s, hopefully. So 155 to me is just less ammo, right? You would still require, in a 32 round stage, you would still require a reload. In the 28 round stage, which is more common, a 26 to 28 round stage, you still require a reload. If there's steel, you would definitely want to reload. But in using a big stick, I would typically pick, if there's no steel in the stage, if there's a 28 round stage or less, I'll just use one big stick, because I have 30 rounds in my gun. If there's steel involved, depending on how difficult the shot is, sometimes I'll just continue running with a big stick, not even bother reloading. Obviously, it's more advisable to find a spot to reload, because sometimes if there's movements involved, you won't have enough time to reload anyway. So 155 will be interesting from a stage planning perspective, I guess. We'll have to see. For those of you who shoot 140s, definitely take a look at this, right? I think this would replace 140s. For those of you who practice enough on 140s and reload with 140s exclusively, I think 155 is the way to go. because it gives you three rounds of ammunition more. For small stages, you just use, this is your big stick, right? And I believe you can practice with just minimal, right, maybe a few days, a day or two, you will be able to reload this as fast as you would a 140. And I think the 140 is doomed, personally. So go to MBX Extreme, take a look at the website, check out the price. I believe it's 145 bucks for the 155 millimeter magazine. The 171 millimeter magazine is about $160. That's what I paid for it. I like those guys. Those guys are great. They're all competitive shooters. They understand competitive shooting. They understand our needs, and that's one of the reasons why they came out with this magazine. And that's also why they designed all the base pads to be similar across all the magazine tubes, and you don't have to worry about STI mags requiring spacers or having to use Graham's guts with a Dawson base pad or Taran Tactical base pad, and then you have different springs and different followers and different tubes, and the old style SVs, the SPS magazines, the new STI. So consistent, they are very high quality, really well built. They work. From my own experience, I believe anybody else you talk to who are not sponsored by MBX will tell you that these magazines run. So if you're new to open, or even if you're old and time for you to switch, I would definitely highly recommend switching to MBX magazines for the simple reason that they work, and I love the design. So thanks again for watching this video. I hope you learned something, and I hope this review was useful to you. So hit like if you like the video, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I publish match videos. I do occasional product reviews for competition shooting gear and so forth. So please interact with me. Let me know what else you'd like to see, and I'll try and get them on camera. So thank you very much, and be safe on the range.